First, I thought it was
Yeah.
a album ploy just to build up sales, but once she showed the real shooting and shit, then I was like, I don't know. And then motherfuckers start switching up and then having her back and shit. And now it's so we supporting Megan, we against Tory like y'all doing.
It's
So I
funny
mean,
Well,
shit,
how
it's
when
weird
my thing
she's
because
is
twerking her
that
ass though, she's Meg Three Stein, but shoot her in the feet, all of a sudden everybody call her Megan. We support Megan, y'all. We gonna
yeah.
respect her now that
Well,
she's shot up. I don't even understand it. It's the weirdest shit. 2020's fucking.
the first thing that popped in my mind, and I know y'all gonna kill me for this, but when I found out she got shot in her foot, I just thought about Harlem Nights and Eddie Murphy and Della Reese in the alley. That's the first thing that popped in my fucking head, bro. I don't know why that shit popped in my head like that, but that's the first thing that popped in my head.
Well, here we are, live in full effect. Another
Yep.
episode, SquadKast motherfucking podcast. Episode 31, in fact. 32 to those who really know,
Yeah.
but 31 nonetheless. And of course, right now we're missing one part of the infamous trio that we've become known as. So I'm sure at some point this young brother will join us, or we'll catch him on the next episode. One way or the other, we got this. So,
He
well,
just sent the text message and he said he's using the facilities
ah,
and that he will be on as soon as he can.
nice,
So
nice. Oh, okay, got it, got
there we
it. I
go.
just got that too. I see. You Sprint?
Yeah.
Am I don't know. I got to talk to Sprint. Like, what's
Okay.
going on? The Urbandale text messages aren't coming through as quickly. I'm a little disappointed. So. All right, well, man, right off top, man, we were just saying how, well, I was just commenting on, maybe we were kidding ourselves thinking that 2020 might have had us a little chill might have went on chill for the last couple of days, but then lo and behold, Wisconsin and what's that, Kosha? I'm not even sure how to say it. I'm not going to embarrass myself.
Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Kenosha, there we go.
Kenosha,
There you go.
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Appreciate the save. Has decided to show its ass, and Jacob Blake shot 7 times in the back, man. Just this shit. I mean, this is terrorist activity at this point. These goddamn cops and their resolve to just murder people when they're not listening. Oh my God, it's fucking terrible, man. It's fucking terrible.
It's disgusting, brother. Like
Mm, mm.
you know, everybody was in uproar about Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, and protests, rioting. People began to stand up and show frustration. And in the midst of all of that, what happened? The brother got shot at Wendy's, right? Remember that?
I can't remember that one. Yeah, but yeah, in the parking
I
lot,
think
yeah, in
in the
Georgia.
parking lot in Georgia, the cops
Mm-hmm.
was wrestling with
As he
this. Well,
ran away.
he fell asleep in his car, and they was questioning him and blah blah blah. And one thing led to another. It was a scuffle. He ran away and
Shot him in his back.
he fired the taser gun, but a taser gun compared to a real gun is not even the same.
Right.
So then you deal with that, and you still got the Ahmaud Arbery case going, and so many other things going. The NBA is trying to do all this can to push the message that Black Lives Matter, and then boom, you got the Jacob Blake situation, and it's just like, what the hell? And that was so devastating. Not that all the other lives wasn't, but it was just like that. I think that tipped the boiling point in the entertainment business, because that's what sports is entertainment, that they just said, fuck it, we're not playing games. Like, we're not going to play no games. We're postponing. We're not playing no playoff games. Baseball, they didn't play any games. MLS soccer didn't play any games. WNBA didn't play any games. They're just like, you know what, we're tired of this shit. We can't do it. Like, all this energy we putting in to try to help initiate change, it just seemed like it's for nothing, And then it does feel like that at times, where you're trying so hard to educate people on what's going on, and then you keep having incidents like this. So it's hard to deal with, man. Then all the other people we've lost. You know, rest in peace to, like I said, my man Wakanda Forever. He just passed away, 43 years old, 4 years fighting colon cancer. So yeah, you can just kind of throw the whole 2020 away, man. This shit is trash, bro. Like, I mean, dead ass serious. Like, it's
Black,
not getting any better.
welcome to the episode. We're actually discussing. We just started just a few minutes ago. You haven't missed too much, but we just been discussing the Jacob Blake incident up there in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And I totally remember that by myself. I didn't need any help remembering the name of that town. So
yeah, I'm glad you figured that out.
And yeah, you know, and I want to make a point about the fucking media once again. The way that when a cop guns down a black man, they like to immediately run away with whatever he's done in his past, run with some sort of negative, like maybe some suggested probable cause as to why it may have been okay for that cop to murder this guy because he wasn't listening to him. CNN ran with the title that he had a knife in his car.
Yeah, fuck out. They make you a criminal well before.
Right, the cops didn't know that, which, you know, so to even suggest, like, so they couldn't have been threatened by that knife itself. Not to mention, he was just getting in his car, calm as could be, and had they not necessarily been right up behind him with his gun in his back, they had kept some safe distance. That knife wouldn't have really mattered had he even intended to get to it and pull it out. Nonetheless, the point was they were right there on him. At any point, they could have tackled him and put cuffs on him and arrested him.
Well, that's the thing. Well, what happened was, they from the couple different videos that I saw, it did show that they was actually like wrestling with him or something.
They did, right? They did try to, right? They tried to hit him with the taser, and it didn't really affect him. Right, they tried to hit him
with the taser and all that other stuff. You know what I mean? So at that point, that still doesn't equate
to he still didn't. He wasn't even threatening anyone as he was walking away.
Exactly.
He wasn't being violent as he was walking away. He wasn't even running to the car as though he was gonna. He looked like he was gonna just leave.
I mean, when you got your
these weak ass cops,
when you got your 3 kids in the car, I mean, right. I'm pretty sure that's what his concern was. You got these cops out here because they see what the media, like what you said, brother. The media tries to depict this man as this negative individual because he had quote unquote charges in the past. That doesn't equate to right now. That man was there to break up a fight between 2 females. And how does the man that's trying to be the mediator end up getting shot 7 times in his back?
And then the white kid with the AR who killed 2 people, shot someone else's arm off with it, walked past the cops with the goddamn gun, and CNN runs the article, the first article, shooter seen scrubbing graffiti off of walls prior to the incident. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Fuck that. They say that he was supposedly trying to be a cop or some shit. This is what the media chose to go with as far as knowing that he killed 2 people at this fucking protest.
He was spotted in the Trump rallies. He's
and to be a cop.
Videos earlier in the night of the cops directly thanking him and the group that he was with for having their backs. All these crazy ass fucking white militia dudes with guns, with long rifles in the streets. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And Jacob Blake had a knife the cops didn't know about, and they shot him 7 times in the back. You can see all the dudes with long guns, no one gets shot. But this guy that don't even know has the knife. Fucking crazy.
Number one, this dude, this 17-year-old kid is definitely instilled in the Blue Lives Matter movement. Like, they showed it on all the social media and all that other stuff. Number 2, how does a 17-year-old acquire an AR-15?
And carry it across state lines.
He drove 20 fucking minutes or whatever, 20 minutes, 20 miles to go to a place that he's not from, that he shouldn't have been there. You're 17, you're not a grown man. And you come there, your whole mindset and so you can present to the public as you're going to protect these businesses and you're going to protect whatever the case. I genuinely believe that motherfucker took that time to say, you know, I'm about to go shoot me a motherfucker. I really believe that.
Yeah,
I really
that he was there prepared to do that.
Yeah, like, cause there's no reason why you're gonna go a place that you're not from to go protect something that ain't yours
Ain't yours. People
with
you don't
the
know.
type of ammunition and shit that you had.
Right.
Like it doesn't equate. Then the cops is giving him water and thanking him, and he's
Thanking
walking in the
him.
middle of the street, and they allowed him to leave and turn himself in the next day and all this other shit.
Because
Like,
it
come
was all a part
on,
of the
man.
stupid shit too. Then the fact that the fucking chief gets on national television, two of them, the chief and the commander, gets on national television and basically tries to say the protesters was in the wrong for being out there, and if they weren't out there, they wouldn't have got shot. Like,
That's
of
just
all the shit
crazy.
you could have said out your fucking mouth, and y'all on national TV saying this shit, they need to be taken. They fucking badges need to be taken away. That shit don't make no sense. Like, how the fuck can
Well,
you
how they're
equate
trying to
those
spin
two?
it, they're trying to spin it because, like, they trying to make it seem like, well, he could have been defending himself. Bullshit. How defend himself from what? Everybody could see him walking around with that big ass gun on. So who's going to approach him? Like,
Right.
what is he defending himself for? If you're trying to,
Right.
that's what the media is trying to spin. Oh, he could have been
And in
defending
fact,
himself
right,
for
it was
what?
after he confronted someone and shot and killed him, and then they started trying to mob him. He ran away, and they start chasing him and trying to get the cops to arrest the guy. They mob him again. He shoots two other people. One dies, one loses a damn arm, and the cops still don't arrest him. It's not until the next day that he's charged with murder. You right,
Now
Black.
my
I don't know
question
how those
is,
cops keep their goddamn badges. It doesn't
my
make
question
any
is
sense.
is for both of you guys, and I'm pretty sure I know what the answer is, but I gotta ask it. And Brother Black, I'm gonna direct it to you first, and then Chef, and you can go ahead and follow it up. Say, for example, well, not even an example. This man, that 17-year-old kid, he did what he did, right? But let's say one of the protesters who has the right to bear arms, who has conceal and carry, what if he would have opened fire and killed that little boy?
Mm-hmm.
A
It'd
black
be
a
a totally
black
different.
protester.
It'd
It
be a
would have,
totally
like,
different
they would have.
motherfucking story. They gonna
Thank
say
you.
one, he did shoot his ass, but they gonna make it like, oh, he wasn't defending himself from this motherfucker trying to shoot at these
They'd have
protesters.
gunned
They
him
gonna
down,
change
man.
the whole story of the whole narrative of the story. They're gonna change it. It's not gonna be, oh, he was just shooting at protesters. It's gonna be irate protesters shot at innocent person protecting the building, and he ain't got no fucking reason being there, and they ain't got shit to do with him. But let the media tell it this is what he was doing. So it's a bunch of bullshit. Like you said,
Chefing, real quick. I I I agree with you. If he would have shot that young man, the police would have gunned him down.
Mm.
They wouldn't even.
Oh,
He
come
wouldn't
on.
even made it 5 steps, brother.
You
I'm sorry,
know
I didn't
we
mean to
know
cut you off,
this.
Black, but he just said something, and I and
Yeah,
I
go
agree
ahead,
with
Black.
it.
Right. My bad. Go ahead.
yeah, that's just that. Like you said, motherfucker, you wouldn't have made it 5 steps before they would have loaded your ass up with some shit. So the fact that they let this motherfucker walk past them, like I haven't read any. I'm gonna be honest. I once I seen the initial video and them doing it, I've
How
watched.
can you?
Haven't watched shit else. Haven't wanted to nothing besides the bullshit
Nothing.
I see from time to time about them trying to fuck up his character and shit, which is the usual you see with media. But that's the reason why I haven't been watching shit. And then to see the motherfucker did what he did at the protest, just like I said, just very disheartening. That's all I can say. I can't even really come up with words for this shit because it's like every month we talking about this shit with somebody new. Then the fact that he did what he did on a peaceful protest, and then media is trying to flip it the way they is, it just shows how fucked up the U.S. is. Can't say the world is the U.S. It's just USA. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Go ahead, Chefin'.
I mean, yeah. No way, brother would have made it out. Every time something like this happens, it always makes me go back to Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy with a toy gun, and that cop just pulls up on him like a damn Western and pops out and guns the kid down. It is crazy. There's no way. Flip that scenario around. That if this was a brother up there in Wisconsin doing that, oh no, it would have been a nightmare, a damn massacre, for
And I'm
sure.
still I'm
They would
still
have.
baffled that y'all
Go
said
ahead.
that this motherfucker shot two people, and they just allowed this motherfucker to walk off. In my
My whole
mind,
thing
like I said, I
is,
haven't watched any videos. In my mind, I'm thinking it's just this mass hysteria from after him shooting motherfuckers that maybe he's able to get away this way. But the fact of y'all saying one person got shot, they telling these motherfuckers that he's out here shooting at people, and he's still out here doing it, and nothing ever happened to his ass.
my
Yeah,
whole thing is that if that
I
was a
totally get his
brother,
claim.
like Sheffin was kind of saying, the whole thing would have been, well, why is he there? Why did he
Mm-hmm.
drive 20 minutes, 20 miles to go to a place to that he ain't got no business being there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole fucking thing.
And
It's
they
like
try to
this
say the cops tested him for drugs in the system, and he probably had street gang affiliations and yada yada yada. He's an extremist
None of
according
that
to
shit
these
matters.
tweets that he made when he was
Charge him for
16. I
what the
mean,
fuck he did.
come on, man. It'd be a whole nother ball game. Whole nother ball game.
and
Past
it's
So
just
them
once
like,
niggas.
again,
like
oh, go ahead, brother.
I don't get how we stay in this climate. You know what I mean? Like, and it's crazy because you would think that police will be a little bit more just a little bit more subconscious, considering all the negative light that's been on them.
Right.
You would think
Fuck
that
no.
just for that split second, like maybe, you know what, I shouldn't pull the trigger because
Mm-hmm.
there is people out here watching me. There is people out here videotaping
Mm-hmm.
everything. There's been so many cases just in 2020 where my fellow, not me, but I'm talking in regards to the cop, my fellow police brethren have murdered people and shot people. I don't want to be in that light, but they don't think that way. They for the racism, the racist in their mind just thinks shoot first and we'll deal with the questions and the comments later.
No, they just above the law, period. They feel like they're above the law. Fuck that.
I I mean that could be it
Mm.
too, brother Black. I mean that could be it too. I don't know. It's just that just a little bit of IQ has to go into this at some point. You would think. You would think.
You know, the tough thing that I struggle with, as this has always happened and continues to happen, is like, what is the goddamn solution? As hard as I think about it, as obvious as the problems are and where the problems are, it is I rack my brain constantly. I mean, it seems to me you can give police all the training in the world. They just seem to get better at killing people for no fucking reason. At their own discretion. You can defund police, and certainly if you took cops out of every goddamn neighborhood, like some of these crazy people be talking about, I mean, you'd probably be some consequences. It'd be really tough to live with there. So, what's the mix? What's the up, the down? And just trying to talk everyone into being nice enough to everyone so we don't need police is just, that can't happen either.
That's
So
some
nothing to keep
equilibrium shit.
have to be called. I mean, come on.
So you trying to have some equilibrium shit.
That'd be the only way. Yeah, we'd have to, right, dope everyone up constantly to keep us from fighting.
Fuck out of here.
That's right. I mean, that's crazy. What is the solution? Do we have a solution? I
I
mean, I can
mean,
only really control my actions ultimately.
right. But my thing is that when you're asking the question, brother, do we have a solution? I think we've all agreed at several points that change in policy and change in system could be a possible solution as far as policing, things of that nature, not just overall racism as a whole, but it has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you're gonna change policy, I mean, I believe it has to start there. Like, I mean, like these cops have to like face punishment. Like they have to face these
Mm-hmm.
stiffer crimes. You can't be like they kill somebody and then you charge them with manslaughter. That's totally different. Like like you can't be just sending them home on pay leave while you
Right.
try to investigate the case.
Mm-hmm.
Like and it's like my thing is like they the from what we see, because we see all the videos and all this other shit. In the eyes of us, the cases be clear cut. Boom, he did it. There's no way about it. But they spend golly this shit so much to where by the
Yep.
time the case is over with, these motherfuckers just get off, and they just lose their job or shit like that, but they get no prison time, if any prison time.
It just goes some other place.
The one cop who shot that man in his apartment because she thought it was hers. I don't even know how much time she got. I think she was facing that up to
she got 10 years, but we'll see.
But only got like a year and a half or 2 years or some shit like that. She was facing 10. No, she was facing 10, but only got like a year and a half or 2.
And that's how that should be if they even get time. Like you said, motherfuckers go when they do that shit, they get put on administrative leave. So it's not like they not being paid. It's coming out of our fucking taxpaying dollars. And then it's all while they fucking doing this court case shit if they still on the job rather. Like I said, that shit's coming out of our pocket. And then when that shit's finally done and over with, they end up fucking getting off for some petty ass charge or some shit where they ain't really doing no real time.
And this kind of goes back to what I was saying, and I hate that it makes me so fucking sick that I even have to say this. That lets me know how much we've been talked about this shit. That lets me know how many incidents this shit that been had. Like these motherfucking cops, man. Like their union, like has to be broken. Like their good old boys club, where they just cover each other's ass, that shit has to go. Like that's one of the major problems, because you cannot tell me that, and I'm just going to talk about the George Floyd, for example, that right and wrong does not come into place. I don't give a fuck how new you on the job.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how much of a rookie you on the job. God damn it, that you know right and wrong. You know that's not procedure.
You see some guys murdering
captain,
someone.
sergeant, lieutenant, whoever he is, that's not right. You need to get off of him. And if he refuses, then you need to use force and get your captain off of this man.
Can y'all imagine going into work at the office and you slide over into the break room real quick and you see one of your coworkers choking the life out of one of your other coworkers? You just be like, yo, man, you shouldn't do that. And he reminds you I'm your supervisor. Like, well, you're right. I'm just going to get my coffee and leave. Are you kidding? I mean, what's the difference? Where does the ethics not come into play in both scenarios at the exact same time and with as much, ambition and aggression as possible to stop someone from murdering someone for no apparent reason, Like it's just such a crazy ideal to even think for a second that cop had some sort of professional pressure to not say something about the guy murdering some man unnecessarily. Get out of here. That's not how anybody's raised. No one's raised to question needless murdering. No one is raised that way. I don't care even if you're racist. You're not even raised, even you're going to protect your own people, whatever side of the line you're on. At a minimum, you're raised, hey, don't just, let people just choke people out for no goddamn reason. If you could do something about it,
let's be clear. Let's be clear on something. Do I believe people are born racist? No, that's something that you have to learn. That's something that you have to be around every day, that somebody is beating in your head, teaching you these ways, teaching you these practices, teaching you that Black lives, brown lives, minority lives ain't shit compared to white Anglo-European, European Anglo-Saxons. That's what I call them. Some people call them white folks, Peckerwoods and all that other stuff. But I call them European Anglo-Saxons. That's what they are.
I don't think every one of them's European Anglo-Saxons, but
brother,
a lot of them are for sure.
If you're white, you're European.
Not everyone. I mean, there's
not
just
from here. You're not from here. This is not your land. I don't want to hear that shit, bro. Don't do that. We're not. This ain't the climate to do that. Don't do that.
Point being, though, cops are just out of control. I can't even think of there is a white dude. I don't know if y'all remember out in Vegas, some kid in a hotel room, and some cop had this big ass fully automatic rifle pointed at him, and he was crawling down the hallway on all fours, begging this cop not to shoot him. I mean, the closer that cop looked, he was just boom, and then just kills him, just ready to go. They're taught to do this, to kill people. It's part of their
but
training.
did you see the one video, brother, where the guy was standing in the front of his grandmother's house in the yard, and he's and like everybody in the community is literally begging this cop to put his gun away and not to shoot this guy. Like they're literally begging him to, like, please put your gun away. He ain't doing nothing. He's on his knees. The guy's on his knees with his hands up, talking about don't kill me, don't shoot me. I mean, that's where we are in today's society, and it's sad as a black man and black woman.
Right. And shit, a lot of the big problem is to these police departments. A lot of them have such a huge amount of power over the town that they police, because the governors and the mayors and whatnot have to foster a positive relationship. Otherwise, these police can decide not to police in certain areas, or over police in certain areas, or abuse their power against the people who, the local politicians even. So I don't know if you remember not too long ago, I can't remember the governor's name, that big old white guy, not Branstad, one of our ex-governors, but him and state troopers had a falling out. Maybe that was it, Vilsack, yeah. They had a falling out, and they were constantly pulling over him and his escorts, or his sons, his kids' cars and shit like that, just to mess with them. And they had I can't say that he wasn't necessarily doing anything wrong, but just that battle back and forth with who's got the real power. And the state troopers were definitely letting them know, like, hey, well, guess what? We'll just make your life full of inconvenience. We don't care, who you think you are. So that's a big part of the problem too. They just have such amount of power that's got to be brought into check in some manner. And breaking that brotherly bond.
You just brought something to light to me. Do you know that? I don't want to say do you know, because you guys know. So I'm not going to say that. But it's amazing to me how much they don't give a fuck about the black, brown, minority community. You would think that the police would have some sense of decency not to do shit around children, but they don't even give a fuck, bro. They killed that dude, Philandro Castile, in the car with his girlfriend.
Oh man, he was in the car,
and his daughter in the back seat. They shot this brother Jacob Blake 7 times with his 3 kids in the car. They, like, it's so many instances where they have opened fire with kids in the car around, and to me, that's just their way of saying and letting us know we don't give a fuck about
you. Yeah. We don't care. Down to the local politicians' children. Right. They will antagonize them directly. Right. Directly. So for sure, and this whole argument about, not all police are bad guys, sure, but, if you're not doing anything about the bad people in the room, I'm not sure how much respect and how high expectations you think I have for you as a whole. Because it seems to me, if you're not actively, fighting the problem from within, that you're only beholden to it. So you're always going to choose that over me, whether that's a professional decision or a personal issue, that you're going to abuse that power. You're just going to, and I have yet to meet or hear of a cop who has been able to stand up successfully and remain within the police department. You know what I'm saying? So
let me ask you guys a question, both of you guys. I'm gonna address this to Brother Black first, and then Chef, and you can go ahead and clean it up. I was reading articles, and I also seen something where they were saying that there has to be something done about police officers and their family being grandfathered into these departments where their family name or whatever has been in the department for like 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like the granddad was the cop, he's a racist piece of shit. And now the son's a cop and his son's a cop and he's a racist. Now they're grooming, the next one. And like, it's just, like, what do you say to that? How do you, like, do you believe that that's somewhat possibly true? Could be the case.
I mean, I reflect back to corporate America on this one, because we know the places we work don't allow all of our family members to just work within and under one another. You know, we might be able to work for the same company, but we are spread around. There's no indirect oversight, you know, no conflicts of interest. But your father could absolutely be a police captain and you a lieutenant or a detective. You know what I'm saying? Like on down the line, because you're right, because of how those are structured. They do have these little mini dynasties of families that are in police departments for generations.
Hell yeah, I believe it is true like a motherfucker. That just shows the grave nepotism that's in the police department, and that's where a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them
Good point. Good point.
get that motherfucking hard on or get that boldness to where they think they run shit because they family been doing it for so long. Like you gotta think like them smaller cities like in Louisiana, like Baton Rouge and shit, like motherfuckers, like we all cities got them known jack boys, you know what I'm saying, when it come to police. But you got the motherfuckers that family members that have been in the police field for years and decades and shit, so they know like that Henderson motherfucker, he's an asshole. His daddy was an asshole. His great granddaddy was an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Watch him type shit. So yeah, that I could definitely believe that shit. And you know, got to think about it. I know that shit's true.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you said, and
So
that shit.
so go ahead. I'm sorry. I was about to ask another question, but go ahead.
That shit, I feel like, although I don't think that's something that could be broken because they got their own code. But that's part of the reason why they as strong as they is because of those family ties.
So does that go back to what I said originally, breaking this good old boys club thing? That being a part of it?
All that shit
Basically, it
goes
sounds like
together.
it.
It's crazy, man.
Right,
Like
brother.
I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, like
So,
I was talking to Brother Chefin before we start going with the cast. Like this shit is so deep that it's affecting the sports entertainment world. Like I know a lot of people probably don't care for sports. You know, probably some of the top races in the world because they see just a whole bunch of African Americans out there dominating sports and shit like that. So they don't really care for it. Some people just don't have no general interest in it. But like for me, I'm an NBA fan. You know, I'm an NFL type of guy, and I was kind of with the NBA's movement on what they were doing, the message they were trying to send and stuff like that. And like I was telling Sheffin earlier, I thought it was dope. And Brother Black, you can comment on this. I thought it was dope how the NBA took the lead to protest and not play these playoff games. And then it just didn't stop there. It went into Major League Baseball, soccer, and so on. So what do you think about that, Brother Black?
Yeah, I thought it was dope that all the sports did that in unison. That was pretty cool to see. Like no sports gonna feel like we're above. You know what I'm saying, civil unrest or what's going on. We gonna be in solidified with all the other sports and do this together. So that was cool to see. Um, I thought it was cool. I'll just leave it at that.
No, if you want to elaborate, go ahead, man. This is your time.
Um, I feel like I get what them trying to, you know what I'm saying, show, but at the same time, I feel like I've been saying, I feel like at the end of the day, they're doing this for a show because they know it would hurt their dollars by not contributing and participating, but they know that ultimately they can't go for a long period of time for without the game as a whole.
Let me throw this in real quick, Chef, and before you can go ahead and discuss this. And actually, I'm saying this specifically for you because this kind of goes into some political shit, which I know is your expertise. A lot of these NBA owners, I give you credit, brother. I think you're very intelligent when it comes to that shit. So
appreciate it.
don't sell yourself short. But a lot of these owners in the NBA are big contributors to Donald Trump and the Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
I think that's where a lot of the rift comes from with the NBA players when they're asking the owners to step in because it's like, okay, the owners got to take care of their players because the players are part of what's making them money. But then again, the owner's looking at it, well, shit, I'm bigger than just this team. I got, you know what I'm saying, connections that run deep in the political offices and all that other shit. So when you have NBA owners that have ties to Donald Trump and the Republican Party, what do you really think is going to happen? Like, what can you expect? To that, you go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just that, man. I mean, they have no interest in resolving any quote unquote black issue, let alone any just social issue affecting the majority of Americans. They are just billionaires. If anything, they play that political game. Almost all, if most, if not all, major sports arenas and complexes are built off the back of taxpayers' dollars. So they're constantly gunning and forcing cities to give them tax breaks and all that type of shit. So not a surprise that these cats would also then be huge Republican donators or whatnot, let alone have really not been keen or to do anything about black issues. Never mind, what is it? 70% plus of the league is are black players, and the
I
NBA,
think
let
they
alone
said
the
like
NFL, don't
70.
really.
It's 70 plus for sure.
Right, yeah, and
70
I mean,
plus
and
for
they don't
sure.
really do much anything other than sell dreams and sneakers to the black community as far as the NBA goes. So. Save for the individual players who make their individual contributions, but they'll let them. That's their money. The NBA don't care about that. That's already written off the books. Asking them to do anything about it or to contribute in some way is a stretch. Let alone if they do something about it, it's slightly a miracle. And I don't know. I've heard some different comments about how the whole NBA, and some people call it a boycott. I don't understand that. It's actually if it's your job and you don't want to work it, that's called a strike, not a boycott. So I don't see how they could call that a boycott's for some shit you ain't really involved with, but you don't want other people to get involved with it either. So
yeah.
but I've heard that really, the Bucks wanted to pause for the night, but LeBron is the leader. I mean, he is the league. Let's be honest about that right now. As far as right now goes, LeBron is the league, and he's not going to be outshined. Whoever's intentions they are, and it was his suggestion to cancel the season. We ain't playing no more for for the season, or whatever. But then that's when, of course, the owners got to like, whoa, wait a minute. Now we just spent a bunch of money. We don't really care about these issues out here. Now y'all got to get back to it, and that's when everyone got back to the table and they, work out whatever the schedule is now, or however they, are gonna proceed forward. So I mean, it's all boils down to politics. If it wasn't politics, and if the NBA owners were serious about anything, about fixing anybody's problems, about even acknowledging real problems, you're right. They would have canceled it and sent their fucking teams and let their owners out as ambassadors to the fucking country and said, "Hey, this is how we think these things. We got a problem over here with our players and how this has affected them, and we obviously want to make sure, we are contributing to the world in some ways for as much as they give us, and start something." But they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
Brother Black, I gotta throw this your way. Did you know, or did you see the reports that came out that not all of the NBA owners wanted to have Black Lives Matters on the courts?
Oh, for
Like
sure.
I didn't see that. I
like
didn't see that.
yeah, like this just
They
came
got
out. This just came out
Yeah.
either yesterday or the day
all
before. They didn't say who what owners of the teams, but they say
all the
out of
motherfuckers
all
that
the
said
teams,
no,
there was a good amount that did not want Black Lives Matter on the NBA courts. To that,
and
you go ahead.
them ones that said they didn't, those are the ones that's part of the KKK on the low. All them ones that said no, no bullshit. Because in the situation that's going on, and no owner, you said it's
Hold your
owner,
head up,
right?
brother. Hold your head up so we can hear you, brother.
You
Hold
said
your
an
head up so
owner,
we can hear
right?
you, brother.
You said an owner,
The
right?
so, like the owners, I don't know how many, I don't know which
So
teams,
them
but they
said
said
owners.
owners did not. Some owners did not want Black Lives Matter on the courts while they were playing
Them
games.
them said owners are part of the KKK. Period. They have some sort of racist ties. If not the KKK, alt left group, whatever the fuck they want to be called, and all the other names for them. They're part of them associations. That what would be the only reason for not putting it up there? You gonna the only other bullshit answer you gonna come up with is to say you don't want to be associated or a part of that political shit or whatever that bullshit term they like to throw out there to try and downplay Black Lives Matter.
So Chefin, so and Brother Black. So let me get this straight. We're good enough to entertain you, but you're
You
not.
already
And
know
we're
that.
good enough to entertain you. You pay us, but then you don't support us when we're making you millions and millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
The buck
We're not
stops
good
there,
enough to
buddy.
help. Yeah.
The buck
We're good
stops there.
enough, right, to entertain you, not good enough to help, though. You got a problem here, that's on
Hollywood.
you. That's on you, man. That's not on us. I mean, and
Exactly,
which
man.
kind of defeats the whole purpose in the first place, because a lot of kids who, or let's say a lot of players who are professional. I mean, this is a lifestyle for them at a very young age, and it's just known your coaches and your trainers as you grow up are instrumental in developing you as a person, and are just seen as people who are in fact giving back to the community as a whole, helping you and a lot of other youths come up and try to find your way on this world of sports. But when you get to the NBA, they're like, buck stops here. We don't care about you. Here's your check. Play the game. Get the hell out of here. If you say one thing about what's happening outside of this game, we're going to have a problem. We are going to have a fucking problem.
It's crazy to me because I remember when all the shit happened in China and how they were protesting over there about Chinese government treating people like crap and all this other stuff, and how Daryl Morey from the Rockets made certain comments that basically messed up the money over there for the NBA and all this other stuff. They put so much energy into that and trying to repair those relationships
Yeah.
because of their bottom
Yeah.
line, the
They went
dollar,
on a
that
press run.
they went on like you said, on a
Mm-hmm.
press run. They did so much to try to fix those relationships, and it's still not fixed. It's still severed.
Right.
But like,
I
why
mean, and
can't
this is one of the
you
things
did
that
that
China
without
even brings up,
hold on.
actually.
They did that without thinking twice. But yet you got
Mm-hmm.
owners who had the question about putting Black Lives Matter on the basketball court.
Right. In their own homes, in their own backyards, nonetheless. Just there, right where everybody, where we all play at, where the
It's
conversation is
not
safe, the
big as
space
hell.
we
It's
can
three
have this
letters
conversation.
for
Come
three
on,
letters,
man.
and it's small ass print on the court. It's not big as hell. It's
Right.
small.
It's like they're
No,
not going to play the game now
it is pretty big. It's not three letters. They actually have Black Lives Matter
on the
on the
court, don't
court,
they?
like
Yeah,
by the
right.
by the side, by the baseline, not the baseline,
Mm-hmm.
the sideline. So I mean, it's very visible. It's clear as day. You can see it, but it's just I had to bring that to the attention of the
Right. Not
people,
surprising.
like
Not surprising.
how you did it. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll do it, but I guess we got to get
Mm-hmm.
some money out of it. So yeah, go ahead and put it out there. I don't want to, but
We don't
I
want
need
no
my
parts
Right.
of
bottom
that
dollar,
shit.
my bottom line.
That's all they said. We don't want no parts of that shit. Now they gotta explain that to their counterparts. Like you got that nigger shit up on your court. All that.
Right.
What's that, Bob?
Right.
What's that, Bob? All that kind of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm
Black
saying? That's
who?
all they're gonna have to the scrutiny that they're gonna have to deal with behind that being on the court. Other than that, that's the only thing I can see for them not wanting. What would be their reason? I would be my thing, but
Well,
they ain't gonna play none of them people out.
let me throw a hypothetical out there, right? Most of these owners are old ass white men. Let's be real, old ass white men.
Mm-hmm.
You're in your 70s, your 80s. What do you care about how
Right. He's
people think
just
of you? In about 10 years, you're gonna be
it
dead
takes a lot of
anyway. You're gonna be gone
big,
anyway. So I
not a
mean,
lot of
you've lived your life, you've made your money. What
right,
does it matter
right.
to you how people perceive you when you've already lived the best years of your life? I mean, you're on your way out. I mean, that's pretty much where you're at in your life.
They
When you're in
don't
your
give a
70s
fuck
and
about
80s, you're on your way out. You shouldn't care about how a motherfucker in your neighborhood or a business partner might think of you because you support a minority group.
Right, you
I
got
don't
nothing to
think they give.
lose.
I don't think they really give a fuck about what people think of them. I think they give a fuck about like we've been talking about, the bottom dollar.
Right. I think
Oh,
that's
That's
what
I
it.
it.
think people do. I think people do care about what. Look, Jerry Jones from the Cowboys care about what people think of him. And if you look at some of his interviews that he's had in the
Crazy
past
asshole
couple
that dude.
weeks, he clearly lets you know that. And
Right.
he's a billionaire, owns the Dallas Cowboys.
I don't
Yeah,
want.
I
I
mean, and to
don't.
be a billionaire, do you just a crazy asshole, one way or the other? A billion, just the shit you had to do, the lives that were sacrificed to get that Billy. Come on, man. You're a maniac at that point. You took it too far, right? You got a billion.
we, we
What you
talked
gonna
about
spend a
that.
billion on? What you gonna spend
We
it
talked
on, bro?
about that.
Right. You still holding on to. You still ain't bought it. Like, I'd have been on Amazon buying everything right now with a billion. Are you kidding me? Cleaning them out. They'd have a Derek
It,
warehouse out here because all this shit I keep ordering. Okay.
yep. Fuck him.
Well, let's make a quick change here as we get closer to this hour mark. As you mentioned earlier, brother, we lost a literal king, if I may. That being Chadwick Aaron Boswick or Bozeman, excuse me, known as the King. What was it, T'Challa? Is that how it was said in Black Panther?
Yep. Yep.
I mean, he was in 21 Bridges, Get On Up, 42, The Five Bloods that just came out. All several of the Marvel movies, Marshall, Gods of Egypt. Evidently, I don't remember him being in
Jackie
that, but
Robinson.
I couldn't watch that movie because
just
I just can't see a whole bunch of white people
yeah,
being
that's right. That is a bullshit
depicted
movie, right?
as
Just
running
two
Egypt
white
and
dudes.
like nah, I can't do that shit.
It is pretty
No.
fucking crazy, but I mean, the list
But
goes on.
no,
And
like
that
you said,
being most of his movies being within the last 10 years. All of them, I think. I think the earliest I've seen is 2013. So was the last 7 years even. So this brother really talented. The way he hit the scene and just kind of took off from there, and obviously he'll be iconic forever because of his role as Black Panther. Let alone how many of those additional movies he was in. And he was 42 when he died, and he died of colon
43,
cancer. 43, excuse me.
43. Yeah.
Uh,
He had been battling colon cancer for 4 years, and
four
in those
years,
four
right?
years, he had filmed like 5 or 6 movies, did appearances on TV shows. Like we said before, Chef, and like you would have never known he was sick if you wasn't in his immediate family
Yeah,
and he decided to share that information. Just on the
right.
outside looking in, you were looking like, damn, he's on a run. You know, he because to me, I remember him from 42, Jackie Robinson. That's what, of course, he's going to be
See
known
that,
for being Wakanda forever. But
right?
that 42 is what put him on the map to me to get him
Okay,
to Black Panther and other stuff that he was able to go ahead and do.
right.
So,
I'm definitely gonna have
you know,
to watch that here.
yeah, I'm just appreciative that I was able to get to see some of his work. You know, this is very sad and like I said, in the entertainment industry. But like Brother Black said last night when we was talking about it, it just lets you know that you gotta take care of yourself. Go get checked out. Colon cancer ain't nothing to play with. No cancer is, for that
Mm-hmm.
matter. And
Right.
that's something that you, as men, I think you're supposed to go ahead and get that checked out when you turn 50 or
Mm-hmm.
so.
I
The
was
first
actually
one
just
or
about
something like
to
that.
comment on that because we brought this up before. I think what episode 3 or 4 was our health episode, as
Yep.
a little off kilter it was, but black men have a life expectancy 69 years. That's 6 years fewer than white men, and for a plethora of reasons. But I did, pertaining to colon cancer, I did look this up, and 62 out of every 100,000 black men in the United States are diagnosed with colorectal cancer, rectal cancer, excuse me, that's a tough phrase, every year. Men as a whole are 53 out of 100,000 versus women at 40 out of 100,000. So black men are more likely to catch this than any other group in America. So you're right. I'm about to be 37 this year. I think I think what 40 is when we're supposed to start getting ourselves
50.
checked out. 50.
50 is when you're supposed to go ahead and start getting colonostomies.
Okay. Yep.
And
Yep.
all
Here we
that.
go. I see that right there too. So yeah, start getting regular checks. So I'm gonna tell you, it probably wouldn't hurt to do it once early because obviously his brother was young. He was 43.
You said it wouldn't
So
hurt. I wouldn't go that far, brother. It's gonna hurt. It's
I
gonna
don't.
hurt.
That's a good point. I don't know, huh?
It's going.
Shit, when I went for my checkup, I actually asked
Well,
about
couldn't hurt
testicular
worse than
cancer.
just the basic check. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, but obviously
So
every case is different. With
mhm.
him, as I
Right,
was
for
kind of doing
sure.
some reading, like it was just ailments that he was going through
Hmm.
that led him to go to the doctor, and then that's how he was diagnosed and things of that nature. So I mean, it wasn't one of those things where it was he was of age and he went to go
Hmm.
get checked out, and
Right.
then boom, that's how he found out or whatnot.
I see.
So just quick point of reference, you got blood in your stool and shit like that, and it's happening on a regular basis, you need to go get that checked out
Immediately, yeah, absolutely,
immediately.
absolutely.
Don't
So
don't no don't like if it's happening more than once, and you having stomach issues, go get that shit checked
right.
out.
And in general, just get your annual physical checkup, like any old adult should be every year. Especially if you got some sort of health insurance out there, use that basic benefit. Get your little copay going. Get yourself checked out. Figure out everything's going okay with you. In worst case scenario, it's not, and you caught it early. Okay, hopefully that's why you do these things. That's why we're supposed to go get our regular checkups. I need to get one scheduled myself before the end of the year. I had one scheduled earlier this year, but the old coronavirus took everything off the tracks there. So I got to get mine in even. So reminder y'all gentlemen to do that as well. Black, I'm sure you did already, huh?
Fuck no. When
See?
I went for my checkup, I actually asked about testicular cancer, but she was telling me basically like how y'all said, it was like basically the expectancy was at a higher age, so they didn't even want to worry about it. But now, like I said, with him down at 43, that shit's out the window. You might as well go get checked.
Might as well, right? You might as well. So Black's gonna get the first rectal exam. He's gonna let us know how it goes, and then based off of that, DJ's gonna go next, and then I'll wait until I'm
No,
50.
brother.
Fuck
I'm
outta
waiting till
here.
I'm 50, brother, unless I have any pre-existing
Condition. I
conditions
see.
that cause me to
All right,
go
so
in earlier than 50.
Get that
You know what I'm
annual. Let the
saying?
doctor know if you're feeling funny. Otherwise, you're right. When you're 50, you're gonna have to ask for that extra step. Okay.
Exactly.
So
But I do want to say something though.
please.
I think a reason why a lot of things health-wise affect the black community, especially black men, or black women too, because we don't have the best of everything. We don't have the best foods. We're not eating the most healthiest shit. We're
Life's
not put
twice
in the
as
best
stressful.
conditions. We, like you said, twice as stressful, but high blood pressure at early ages. I
Hmm.
mean, a lot of
That's a
things
whole
go into
plethora of
there's a,
reasons.
it's a lot of factors that can go into somebody's health
Hmm.
that could cause them to deteriorate like that.
Right. Right.
And money and status plays a part in that. We talked
Hmm.
about that episodes ago, and it's just I just it's sad that that's happening to us because we don't have the best, like certain brothers can't even get jobs or where they have healthcare benefits. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean, now you're dependent on Title 19 and all that other stuff, and Title
If
19
you're
is not the
lucky,
best. They're
yeah.
not going to go the extra mile for you or whatever to try to get you right and try to figure out what's wrong with you. So I mean, like just do what you can
Hmm.
with whatever resources you got. Make the best of them. Take care of yourself,
There you
please.
go.
I know a
There
lot
you
of us
go.
ain't in the best situation, but try to do what you can. Don't try to not to eat a
Hmm.
lot of processed shit
Right.
and so on.
Don't add on to an already not ideal
Don't
situation
add
where
fuel
you
to the
can.
fire. We're already
Right.
burning. Don't add fuel to the fire.
Right. Right. Well, gentlemen, I suppose this is a good place as any to stop for this week's episode. You know, I mean, we can just, like I say this every episode, we can just keep going, man. There's enough going on in 2020 to keep it going. So, if anything, you know, if this was paid,
hold on, wait
we'd
a minute.
have some additional
We gotta
job
talk about
security.
we gotta talk about this real quick. Just
what's that? Okay.
We have 54 minutes. I think we should at least 3 minutes to this.
Okay.
What do y'all brothers think about Tory Lanez dumbass and what he did to Megan Thee Stallion?
Hopefully Black will be back here in a moment.
Shooting her in the foot.
I still cannot figure out how in the fuck Tory Lanez ain't been arrested and deported. I am absolutely confused how Tory Lanez has not been arrested and deported. I can't figure this out. Nonetheless, as far as I know, there might be some exceptions with hunting. I'm pretty sure non-U.S. citizens cannot purchase and carry around handguns in the United States. I'm almost positive that's a goddamn law. So look, Tory Lanez should be arrested, served 3 to 5 for illegal gun possession and assault with a deadly goddamn weapon, and then be fucking deported back to Canada. I mean, drop another hot 16 on us when you get out, brother. I'll be listening to you on SoundCloud. Get your ass out of this country. You're shooting up our women? What the fuck? I don't care what she was doing.
Brother Black.
I don't care what she was doing.
Brother Black. Go ahead. We talking about. I had to bring up the Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion incident. What are your comments? How do you feel? Is Tory Lanez the asshole? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know what happened. I've heard about what happened with her saying that he shot him. So no excuses for that. He did what he did. So yeah, he got to face the consequences. I don't know what it cost him to shoot her, but he did shoot her. So
twice, both feet.
It happened is enough. Yeah, that is weird. As far as that ain't nothing happened that transpired court wise. So yeah, that's why I say I don't want to give any major comments because more shit's gonna come to light while everybody's commenting. That's what's been happening lately with this fucking these artists and shit with all this stupid shit. With they at first I thought it was a album ploy just to build up sales, but once she showed the real shooting and shit, then I was like, I don't know. And then motherfuckers start switching up and then having her back and shit. And now it's we supporting Megan. We against Tory like y'all doing. So I mean shit.
It's funny how when she's twerking her
that,
ass though, she's Meg Thee Stallion, but shoot her in the feet, all of a sudden they call her Megan. We support Megan, y'all. We gonna respect her now that she's shot up. I don't even understand it. It's the weirdest shit. 2020's fucked, bro.
The first thing that popped in my mind, and I know y'all gonna kill me for this, but when I found out she got shot in her foot, I just thought about Harlem Nights and Eddie Murphy and Della Reese in the alley. That's the first thing that popped in my fucking head, bro. I don't know why that shit popped in my head like that, but that's the first thing that popped in my head. And then it was just like, I'm thinking like, well, why the fuck would he do something like that? And I'm just like, it's like first of all, you got to be like, something's got to be mentally wrong with you to pull a weapon, a gun on a female like that. And I don't think Megan up the strap on him or pull like a blade out or something like that. I mean, all the reports and things I've seen say that she didn't have nothing on her to that capacity. So like for him to feel the need to pull a gun out on her, one, shoot her multiple times in the foot, and nothing has happened to this brother. I don't know what's going on. Like this shit is crazy to me.
Now that being said, I don't know if you know, Tory Lanez does have a notorious
diplomatic
attitude.
Immunity.
I'd be interested if he was here as a Canadian diplomat, and like a low key, no one knew. That would be strange. He's actually here lobbying for trading relationships.
What lethal weapon was that when the dude was like, "I got diplomatic immunity," where he could just do whatever the fuck he wanted? What lethal weapon was that? Was it like Lethal Weapon 2 or 3 or some shit like that? The one where they're dealing
with the South African dude. Yeah, I kind of like the second one. I think, yeah, I got that whole collection. By the way, it's okay. It's okay. I got the whole collection.
Y'all, I know y'all said we was about to leave, but I know y'all mentioned the whole boycotting of the NBA. So did anybody see the story where they said how LeBron was in the meeting, basically going at people, and the younger players basically didn't like the way how he was talking?
I saw that, but then
Yeah, I heard about that
then
too.
I heard there was mixed reports about that, so I'm not going to hold any weight on that.
Or
But
someone said, "Fuck you,
I
LeBron will
will share
play
this
without you."
though. I do need to share this though because this was kind of fucked up. Michelle Roberts, who helps run the NBA Players Association with Chris Paul as the president, powerful black woman. She's our elder. She's up there in age or whatnot. And Patrick Beverly from the Clippers was very disrespectful to her. She was in the meeting trying to talk about how these guys should move forward. And she's on the mic talking, and she's talking about financial ramifications about not moving forward and things of that nature. And Patrick Beverly kept cutting her off, being rude. And then she kept politely asking, "Can I finish? Can I make my comment?" He said, "No, I pay your salary." To that, y'all say what?
I mean, I can't really speak on it. I think half of this sports shit is bullshit anyways. These guys get way more credit than they deserve. Most of these cats are just, players just playing, man, and they get big checks and they live their big fancy lives. And, if we lucky, they might throw some kid a little bit of money or open up a training camp a couple summers or something like that. But past that, I say similar to a lot of jobs that I've had, to be honest, it just doesn't mean anything. So for them to show up and have this big conversation and all this emotion and this argument to go back and forth, and for this brother to be insulting this sister like that, it's all for naught. It's all for naught. Because if we were really approaching life with any common sense, none of that would happen.
I think he's like 30 or something like that. So for one, you don't disrespect your sister.
For sure.
You don't disrespect your elder.
Right.
And you damn sure don't disrespect the woman who's in the fucking union that's helping you and fight for your fucking rights as an NBA player.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my thing. But Brother Black, go ahead and give your spiel before we get out of here on that.
Yeah, like you said, he's bogus, especially with her working. Like you said, yeah, she may work for you, but she's getting a lot of benefits on the behalf of y'all as players. So for you to shit on her like that kind of discredits her in the eyes of the owners because they got to deal with her. So then they gonna feel like they can talk that kind of reckless shit to us.
Exactly.
So it's not a good look for them as players, him as a whole, but the Players Association too, because that makes them look bad when you got a player lashing out at your representative. So yeah, he got some repairing to do. I'm pretty sure his mama scolded his ass. He probably called
like they said, like how you were saying, and like certain reports were saying how certain of the NBA players were mad at LeBron for what he quote unquote said. That they said that what Pat Bev did ain't nothing compared to what LeBron did. Nothing. Like he caught so much backlash from his fellow NBA brethren. Like people want to ostracize him and don't even want to deal with him.
Well, he's the king. They're gonna have to deal with him.
Pat Bev ain't the king. We ain't talking about LeBron. We're talking about Pat Beverly.
I see. Well, either way, I would be more concerned about what the other players' reactions were than necessarily him, because we know some people do some shit like that. But a woman in that position being dealt with in that manner, I would hope that the other men around, try to interject themselves in some way or some fashion to tell this motherfucker he, definitely is crossing the line. Because it definitely, even if she decided to, there's no way really she can do anything about the way he's behaving. So those other cats should really be, there to check that. So
they definitely made it aware when it happened that he was in the wrong in so many words.
So I would say that definitely is more reassuring to hear than it is disappointing that he, got out of line in the first place. So.
Yeah. But
so I think today's takeaways: number one, be careful around the police still. Watch your health, get your regular checkups, and don't be fucking disrespecting women, whether that's shooting them in the fucking feet or talking out of line to them.
Exactly.
Lessons of the day, guys.
That's what I take away from it. Hey.
All right, well, episode 31, gentlemen. SquadKast, motherfucking podcast. We'll see y'all on the flip side. Be safe.
See y'all next week.
Deuces.